decided I wanted an old Folgers coffee can. The old, not antique, but the vintage. So I went and I was trying to find a can. I thought I had a can. Like some peaches came in or something, but I must have used it or I couldn't find it anyway. So I just took, I knew this would look too tall. It just needed a little off from it. So I just stood this up and made a marks ever so often. Took my pen and went around it. So now I'm going to take that and be careful. And you need a sharp one. I mean a sharp knife. And this one is. It cuts good. I'm just following that line. Hopefully. Okay, come out. All the way around. Almost done. There, that's pretty straight. I still have the lid, but I don't think I need that. But I'll save it just in case I want to put it back on. All right, now I need to show you. I went on ChatGPT and had it make me a vintage Folgers coffee can. It took me a long time to get what I needed. I finally just settled, okay? Because if I took something like one of these, this is one of them, and that color was totally off. And when I went around like that, the Folgers didn't show up as good. So I kept working with it. And I kept telling it to scrunch the words in. And it finally got just a little bit closer. So that you can read the Folgers. And also, I used presentation matte paper. And there is a big difference, because I'll show you when I use plain copy paper, that was the difference. And then on, I think this one that's more pinkish. I have so many here. This one, I accidentally, okay, when I was going to pick matte presentation, and because I had to do it every time I printed one out, and I forgot on one. I thought, why is that turning out like that? But anyways, I accidentally hit presentation photo paper or something, just the one just above it. It printed good. It printed out way better than plain paper, but the colors were all off. So I figured out that's what I had done, is not printed on presentation. Well, I need to clarify that I am using matte photo paper for printing because it prints really well. And this is a setting I used. It's Premium Presentation Paper Matte. And it'll print well. So anyways, from there, I knew I couldn't print it as long as I needed it. So in my Silhouette software, cut some of the edges. I copied another one, put it, and then I sliced some of this off so I could do this and add to the paper. But actually, you could just print another one out and use the side papers. Either way, you're going to use 2 pieces of paper. Just print 2 of these out. And if you need more to go around the can, this is what I'm trying to say, it's going to be short. So just print 2 of them out so that you have enough to add on to that. So I am going to take this paper and I'm going to go ahead and spray it with some hairspray and let it dry good before I start my project. Just spraying it with hairspray. And it doesn't matter what kind. I just get this at Dollar Tree because it's cheap. Or I can get it to Walmart, either one, anywhere. Just use a cheap hairspray. And I am going to let it dry well. Well, I started all over with my image. This is what I had, and I thought I liked. But I got to looking, I really didn't like it that dark a red, because a real Folgers can is not that dark. And I got to looking at some, like, online that you can buy. They're expensive. That reminds me, one time, I used to metal detect years in the 80s, I'd say. And my husband and I and another couple went out to metal detect one day and come across this old house that was abandoned on a dirt road. And we went in there and was looking around. And there wasn't any furniture or anything in there. But in a bedroom upstairs, there was a bunch of magazines like from the 50s. And there was a large Folgers can with the ship on it. And at that time, they was old then. And I picked it up, and I picked out some of the magazines, because most of them been chewed up by rats and mice and stuff. And I was going to take them, and before I left, I laid them down. My husband said, "Aren't you going to take that can and those magazines?" I said, "No." I said, "They're not mine. They're in this house. They belong to somebody else, and that'd be stealing." So I walked off and left them. They probably just got thrown away, or the house might have fell in. I don't know. But anyways, it had the boat on it, and I really liked it. But I left it there. And I left the magazines for the rats to eat. I just had to say that. But anyways, I went back in, and I had it lighten the red up, or make it a little more red instead of burgundy, and had to put the ship in the middle and scrunch it in some more. And I took off this here and told it to add right here, take off the vacuum pack here, and put since 1850 and remove this. And anyways, this is what I come up with. I've printed it out again. And I think I'm going to use it this time. It's been hairsprayed, it's dried, and it's ready to be put on the can. Or it actually looks like one of those cans. About the right size, too. Let's see, what size did I end up? Because I know I just used that little thing to measure it with, that sewing measure, and this was 6 inches. Okay, that's if you get a oak deal, 6 inches is what I cut mine to. So now I'm just going to start Mod Podging it on. And I want to put enough glue on there that it sticks, but not so much that it makes the paper want to bubble. And put it in a even. Put it on even. Okay, I'm just going to go about halfway and then start putting it on. I'm going to have to set it up like that. Okay, hold it up straight. I'm going to put it in the middle. It's going to have to come up. Well, how did I do that? That is not wanting to go on straight for some reason, even with me holding it up. Let's start all over. Well, I'm going to have to lay it down on there. I do not want this on there. Here I go again. That should be right down on the bottom of that. Trying to get it to go even. And I'm not in frame, am I? Okay. So far, I think it's all right now. I'm getting some bubbling right in there. Don't know how that did that. I want those bubbles out. I don't want any bubbles. Okay. Let's put it down gradually. Okay, I don't feel that bubble now. All right, now I'm going to cover the rest. Okay, I'm going to finish putting this on, then I'll come back and we'll put the rest of it on in the back, here in the back. I'm sure it's going to need it because they're not going to meet. The ends are not going to meet. Okay, as you can see, this is not going to reach. So I cut some extra pieces. And I'm going to put those on. Probably about that far over. Okay. Go ahead and put some here. Now I have to take another piece. Let's see, that has to go this way. Okay, so I'm going to cover that a little bit on this side. Trying to get it to match up. Now remember, I printed out the picture or the can, and then you'll need to print out another picture so you can have pieces to cut off to add onto this. Because it is not long enough to go around there. With a regular printer, that is. And I guess it's probably been long enough I'd had some legal size, which I do. And I thought about trying that, and it was regular paper, and it just doesn't print out as well as this. I don't think that should have been on there. I think I should have cut that back to right there, because this should have been the seam. But no, it doesn't matter. It's mine. It's going to look fine. So now, I wonder if I want to cover that now or wait till it dries. Either way, if it's going to bubble, it's going to bubble, right? Yep. Because I do want the slick look on here. Okay, I'm going to finish this up and let it dry, and I'll come back and show you. I have decided to go ahead and paint this to put on there. Because to me, if you're looking at it like this, you can see in there that it's a box. So we'll see if we can get this to look like a can. Put my glasses on. But I did put some bonding boss on this. A clear bonding boss. And now I'm going to cover it with sterling silver. And then, of course, I know I'm pretty sure I'm going to rust it to make it look old around the edges. I don't have to go in here because that goes down in the box. Just need to get the top covered. And this, and then let them dry. I'm going to need another coat. Maybe more than that. Maybe I should have used white bonding boss. Need to get that up around the edges. And I'll be back when I do more. Alright, I gave this thing about 4 coats and it's still showing. So I'm just going to put some cinnamon over it and try to make it look rusty. Okay, I'll do that part and then I'll work on the rest of it. Okay, I should have got something to dip with. Hang on. All right. I need, well, the top's really not going to show that much. Okay. I think I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to try to go ahead and get the sides, but I'm going to let it dry and then come back and pounce it a little bit with some Mod Podge. After my Mod Podge dried, I just took my brush and my Mod Podge and I tapped it over most of it. You can see there's still some that's just regular color of cinnamon. And I think that looks much better. You can just, really, you just see this. It looks like it has a kind of a rusty lid on it. And I think it looks better than looking at that, like that. So, that ended up working. And I think it looks like a real coffee can.